Hello everybody, today I'm doing a follow-up to the gun bluing video. I had a few comments and questions about the patina on the Mora Companion after I'd used the gun blue, and they were basically along the lines of how durable is the finish, is it suitable for food prep, and my first thoughts were it probably isn't, because it's quite easy to rub off some of the black finish. But then I thought, well, rather than just speculate, I'll do a testing video and we'll see how the patina actually holds up in use. So let's have a look. Okay, so here we have the knife, the Mora Companion. Don't know how well this will pick up on the camera, but the finish is a little better than where we saw it last. I've rubbed it back a bit with oil on kitchen paper, and it's not very blue compared to when it was first done with one coat, but it's a lot smoother and it's a lot less dull. It's got a bit of a lustre, and also I've polished up the Scandi bevel on the strop. Now, a few of the questions were about food prep. So representing food prep, we've got a large tater, and all I'm going to do is cut this up. Now straight away you can see black is coming off on the potato. I've got to assume that that is the patina coming off. It could quite possibly be a chemical reaction, because I do know that there is a test for starch where the reagent turns black, but I can't honestly remember what the reagent is, so we've got to assume that's not what's happening, and what's happening is simply the patina is coming off on the spud, which of course is no use at all for food prep. If you remember from the first video, the stuff in the gun blue is really horrible and vicious. It's mostly selenious acid, and the bit that isn't selenious acid is nitric acid. So whatever sort of compounds that makes to give you the blued finish, I can't imagine they're at all healthy to consume them. So let's wipe that blade off and have a look. Now you can't see to casual inspection that much of that finish has come off at all. It looks pretty much the same, but we did see the big black mark on the first cut. So what I'll do is I'll cut the rest of the spud, I'll whiz forward in time, and then we'll have another look. Okay, so we've minced up the rest of the potato, and it might not come across very well on camera, but on some of the bits of potato you can see black staining. Again, on the blade you don't notice much degradation on the patina, but when you wipe the blade off there is distinct black grey filth coming off the blade. So I would say that's definitely not a food preparation finish at all. So we'll get rid of all that. And if you bear in mind that that wasn't a particularly demanding simulation of food prep, there are a lot of food substances that will be a lot more acidic than potato. You know, tomatoes, citrus fruits, and they could well attack the patina much more than a bit of spud juice. So let's carry on testing this finish. We've got some single layer corrugated cardboard, and if I just have a bit of a slice through that, not seeing any problems initially. And she's going to take some tidying up when I've finished. See, cutting through the cardboard, you don't notice any particular wear and tear with a little bit of use. Will be interesting to see how it holds up over the long term. Well, that doesn't look too bad actually. It's just a shame that it's a bit scruffier on this side. When I was initially rubbing down the bevel, I caught the flat and I had to redo that, and it's blotchy. This side's much more even. Oh. So, I think the next thing then is to see what happens with a bit of wood. And I think cutting into a modest piece of softwood is probably the limit that most Mora blades like this would be expected to cope with. And now we are starting to see a little bit of wear just along the edge there where the corner of the bevel, the very first bit of patina that the wood comes into contact with. So I think overall, if you just want it as an aesthetic finish, it's probably going to hold up quite well. Doesn't look too bad at all. And it is easy enough to redo. For all that this finish is holding up reasonably well against cardboard and against wood, a bit of 1000 grit wet and dry paper will just take that off completely in a couple of strokes. So we'll just round off with a bit of paper cutting just to see how the edges hold up, and of course, being a Mora, it's lovely. So I'll try and get a couple of close-ups so that you can see where the finish has ended up. Oh, have I got a nick? I'll have to get my lens on that. Don't think so. Can't feel it. So there we go. Gun bluing on a carbon steel Mora. You can make a nice pretty finish, but it's no bloody good as a food knife. Thanks for watching.